The federal investigation into Albuquerque DWI officers accepting bribes to dismiss cases. As you recall, several of them, including 2 attorneys and a paralegal, pleading guilty to bribery and racketeering.
But tonight, Target 7 has learned it's been months without anyone being sentenced and all hearings have been canceled. Here's Jason.
Yeah, that's right, Doug and Shelley. 23 people have been implicated in what's being called the largest law enforcement scandal in the state's history. 11 of them have pled guilty to federal charges. But why have none of them been sentenced? These 20 police officers and these 3 legal professionals have been named in a federal investigation that spans 3 decades.
I've never seen anything like it in New Mexico.
Federal court documents show that people charged with drunken driving were paying as much as $5,000 to get officers to not show up in court. Target 7 broke the case open in January of 2024 when we told you how federal agents served search warrants at the homes of Albuquerque police officers. A year later, this man, Ricardo Mendez, a paralegal working for attorney Thomas Clear, was the first to reach a deal with federal prosecutors. Within a few months, deals were made with 10 more, including Clear and attorney Rudy Chavez.
All of these people who have entered into guilty pleas, entered into deals with the government. The deals may be contingent on information they provide.
At the time, sentencing hearings were scheduled for Mendez and 3 others who pled guilty. But since then, the hearings have been canceled, and sentencings have not been scheduled in any of the other cases. In fact, the last time anything was filed in court was in July of this year when Chavez pled guilty.
Does that mean there are targets that are larger than these officers in the sights of the prosecutors? Maybe. Does it mean there's some problem with the investigation that has caused the complete halt to everything? Maybe. There's just so many variables we don't know.
KOAT legal expert John Day said there could be a good explanation.
There was so much attention paid to this, so much energy put into it by FBI and the U.S. Attorney, and so many statements of their intent to continue the investigation made that it does raise questions about what the status is.
Court records show Mendez pled guilty in January of this year, and 1 month later, a judge granted him permission for, quote, international travel. Federal prosecutors did not oppose it, and documents detailing the reasons behind it were sealed. Law enforcement officials tell Target 7 they were opposed to it, and they were worried he wouldn't come back.
Hypothetically, if you have a case where a defendant is giving lots of good information to the government, and the government feels comfortable with that person leaving the country, if they feel like they're getting their money's worth, so to speak, from the defendant, and maybe there's no reason to oppose international travel, especially if they don't think there's any fear of that person fleeing the jurisdiction.
We wanted to know if Mendez did indeed leave the country, and if so, did he ever come back? We went to his home, and neighbors said they have not seen him in months. Do you know maybe when the last time you did see him was?
It's been a while, honestly.
Yeah, it's been a while? Okay. So we went to his attorney's office and got no response.
No one's home.
Target 7 also reached out to the U.S. Attorney's Office to ask. They sent a ZIS email that said, quote, unfortunately, I cannot respond to media inquiries during the government shutdown.
At the end of the day, the only person who can answer that is going to be the U.S. Attorney, and I'm doubtful that they're going to be talking publicly about what's going on at this point.
Target 7 called several of the defense attorneys representing people implicated in the scandal. Some told us they're puzzled why nothing has happened. Others said they believe prosecutors are looking at charging others. One attorney said, quote, you don't need to be a genius to figure out obviously there's more stuff there the government doesn't want out. We've also reached out to former U.S. Attorney Alex Ubaez, who's currently running for mayor and resigned just 1 week before the order allowing Mendez to leave the country was made. He tells us he doesn't recall discussing the issue before he left. For Target 7, I'm Jason McNabb.
If you have a story for us to investigate, call 505-884-6347 or email target7tips@KOAT.com.